everybody, this is Red Rifle Sports and my name is Peter. In today's video we're just going to be talking about the recent NBA All-Star break, all the events that happened, and what to look for going forward in the season. So first of all, I think the biggest event of the All-Star break is obviously the All-Star game. Followed behind it is the dunk contest, so we're just going to get right into it. For the All-Star game, Team LeBron won 157 to 155. It was a fun game, the first three quarters. It was just a lot of like really slow, kind of like pickup style play. And then it's really cool to see in the fourth quarter the teams just kind of lock in and like really play defense. Their best players on the floor, because they still want to win. There's still a bit of pride with it. And just a quick side note, I think other pro sports and the leagues should learn from that. Like just kind of build an all-star game that really makes the players want to play. Sure, have fun for the first like 50-75% of it, but then when it gets really down to the wire, like about winning the game, like really just have the best players on the floor, go all out and just have fun. But yeah, like I said, Team LeBron won. Kawhi got the MVP award, which was cool to see. They actually renamed the MVP award to the Kobe Bryant award, which I thought was a really cool tribute, obviously with his recent passing. Some people were pushing for the logo to be redone so that it showed Kobe probably in like the classic fadeaway silhouette. But I think this is a nice touch. Kobe, he played in a ton of All-Star games. I'm pretty sure he has the record for it. And he was always a great person to watch in all the All-Star games. So I think it's fitting that he is honored by having the All-Star Game MVP award named after him. Now about the dunk contest, it was Derrick Jones Jr. who ended up winning over Aaron Gordon in the final. A lot of people think Aaron Gordon got snubbed. Again, it was his second time doing it, and I watched it, and I personally think Aaron Gordon should have won. Now, if he hadn't gotten robbed a couple times or a couple years ago when he did it, I don't know. Maybe I would think differently. Maybe I'm just a little too sympathetic to him right now. But yeah, I'm glad Derrick Jones won. He's kind of known as like a high-flying, crazy dunker in the league, so I think it's cool. He had some good dunks. It was cool to see Pat Connaughton get a perfect 50 early on in the rounds. He represented well for being a first-timer. But yeah, I feel for Aaron Gordon, and the press conference after, he was like, I'm never doing this again. But, I can't really blame him. It was funny to see Twitter react to it, though. Dwayne Wade was one of the judges that didn't give Gordon a perfect 10 on one of his final dunks. That was just funny to see, but if you actually go back and look at it, I think Wade was one of the more generous judges, and a ton of other judges like weren't giving Gordon all 10s the whole time too. But it was just funny to see Wade getting a lot of stick for it. So yeah, really as far as the All-Star break goes, that's about it. The Rising Stars game was kind of a joke. It's the same thing as the All-Star game, like a lot of messing around. I think there was more messing around in it than the actual All-Star game. I didn't watch it as closely though. It was cool to see Luka and Trey like bond on the court, because they'll be probably compared like their whole career, because they were drafted just a couple spots away. They're both a guard. They both have good range, and they're both the face of a franchise now. But yeah, now just going forward, it's important to look at the teams really fighting for playoff position. I know the West is really crowded right around that 8th seed, so there's going to be some teams fighting for that last playoff spot. Also, just seeding. Seeding is not really something you think about until late on in the season. Now, the NBA, I don't think it matters much. The NBA is pretty much the most predictable league in terms of playoffs. If you have 7 games, I'm pretty sure the better team, or the more higher seeded team is going to win the series like 9 times out of 10. I can't think of the last time a lower seeded team has won. It happens. It happens a couple times a year where a lower seeded team wins a series, but an 8 or a 7 will pretty much never beat a 1 or a 2. And even like a 6 or a 5 versus a 4 and 3, sometimes it's not even a contest. But yeah, that'll come into play, especially because you'll have, I think the seeding is going to be a bit messed up this year, because there will be teams that played all out all regular season. They're going to get a 1, 2, or 3 seed, And then there might be teams that kind of like rested all year, kind of like look at the Clippers. I'm not saying they're not going to get like a 1, 2, or 3 seed, but they've been really conservative with the minutes they gave Kawhi and Paul George. So they might be seated lower, play a higher seeded team. That doesn't mean they're worse, but we'll see how that works. And yeah, it'll be cool just to start seeing teams, slowly work in just their best lineups with more minutes, and it'll just be better games as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. So yeah, plus I think the All Star break is really nice because it just kind of is a reset button for every team. Like the Nuggets had 7 guys on the injury report on one of the games right before the All-Star break, and now they've only got 1 guy questionable. It's just nice. Every single player gets some fresh legs, and it's good for the quality of games going forward. So yeah, I'm really excited for this last stretch of games and for the playoffs. I think it's going to be a really interesting year in the NBA. So yeah, that's all I really have for today. Just going over the All-Star break and what to look for going forward in the NBA this year. So yeah, I hope to see you guys again soon. See you.